Folks, welcome back. And it is another one of those days where we are revisiting the Amazon dump. Hasbro is unloading the dump trucks and the barrels of 2021, I guess 2022 era Magic the Gathering products. So it's very interesting because, once again, since they've adjusted things in 2023, Phyrexia, March of the Machine, it's interesting that we're not seeing as much dumps on that. What? There is Dominaria Remastered. So, unfortunately, as with most things, I'm not a morning person. So, by the time I see everything going on, I miss out on most of these things because I guess the Prime Day Amazon stuff always starts early in the morning. And obviously, you guys know I work pretty late, so I'm not usually up and coherent at 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning. So, as with everything, I tend to miss out on these Amazon Prime Day deals, but apparently a lot of you guys are able to grab them, which is fantastic. I want to discuss kind of what I see going on, and unfortunately, it's been a very long time since we've seen an Amazon dump like this, and I am going to classify this as a straight up Amazon Hasbro Wizards of the Coast product dump from their warehouse. It is a straight dump. There is no sugarcoating where I say, oh, well, they've run some Amazon sales where it's like 10%. No, 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 no. There are collector boxes for $100 plus or minus a few bucks each direction. That's a dump, okay? When a store has to have a brick and mortar and pay overhead and pay fees and overhead and all this crap like I have to pay, and the distributor charges like $170 to $200 for a collector box, and then Hasbro Wizards Direct unloads the product and just dumps it on the market at around 100, that is a dump. That is a straight up crash. When you're talking 40 to 60% price reductions, that is a straight up dump collapse, getting it off the books. So once again, it reinforces what we all already knew, which is the 2021-2022 era. When things were going to the moon and 10 extra money and tendies, and they did ramp up print runs to out of control. And I still believe, Lord of the Rings, March of the Machines, the Phyrexia, all these standard normal sets and everything happening now, I think are more in line and more accurate. But I do believe not only did the market reject those products, but they increased the print runs, and now we continue to see these dumps on the market. Now, if you have pretty much balls of steel and you haven't completely lost your mind and you're insane, if you have the ability and you have the extra money to buy some of this stuff, there's not many times I give financial advice on this channel unless it's just straight up dumb stuff. But I'm sorry, but if you have the ability to get, and I already know some, I saw the messages from patrons. Apparently, most of these were limit like 3 boxes, so 3 boxes, $300 kind of thing. I mean, you really didn't have the ability to spend $100,000 and wipe out Amazon. So it's nice to see because a lot of smaller stores, like there used to be a big thing a couple years back where a lot of smaller stores would take a product and they would mark it real cheap on their website, so it would get shared on like a Reddit or a Discord or a MySpace or a Backpage or a Tinder or Silk Road, and people would say, "Oh my God, Timmy's Emporium is selling these boxes for half price." And kind of a secret little thing in the retail world is the best way to get publicity is to take a product and sell it at a loss and get it shared on social media for free. Now, the key to that is put the product, but only put like 10 boxes or like 5 boxes, or maybe a case of 6, and do limit like 1 or 2 per customer. Now, by doing that, by the time it spreads around and people go crazy, it's going to be marked as sold out, and a couple people get it. But overall, you get free publicity for pretty much selling 1 case of boosters at a loss. So there's a lot of complicated things like that tend to go on in the retail world. But when it comes to Amazon Direct, not fulfilled by Amazon third-party store or LGS, Amazon fulfilled by Amazon, which is pallet supplied direct from Wizards of the Coast in Texas's warehouse direct to Amazon, that's a different conversation. This is a conversation where they are looking to get them off the books, raise revenue. They don't care about the profit or the margins. They just want to raise capital and free up storage space and get them off the books of the inventory before maybe a certain quarter. January, February, March, April, May, June, end of June. So we're in July. So technically this is the beginning of the third quarter. And I still believe, and I know I'm gonna take some heat from this, and a lot of people are going to give me a hard time, but I still think buying into collector boxes at these fire sale stupid prices, yes, there's a degree of risk. But at the same time, you are buying in a collector box for $100. That's like $8 a booster pack. Okay. To get collector boxes at that price point, the downside risk is so reduced compared to like the heavy bags that so if I have 200 boxes of each collector box, and 5 of these collector boxes are on the Amazon dump, I mean, I'm immediately, on paper, I'm probably down. I lost probably $500,000 to $1 million, just like that. And some of these, Adventures Forgotten Realm was on that list. I think it's sold out by the time I looked at it. But some of these boxes, Adventures Forgotten Realm, I probably got 1,000 boxes. So I'm probably upside down. I mean, 1,000 boxes times $100. I mean, Jesus Christ, really? 1,000, 100 times? Is that $100,000 by itself? That is $100,000 by itself. So again, people like me are going to take some nasty, nasty upside down losses, which is why, I can't do much with them. I can't run a sale to patrons. I'm not going to sell it and just lose all. I might as well just keep them. So I'm just stuck with heavy bags. The biggest issue with this is that it's sad to see that Wizards and Hasbro continue to avoid the 3,000 local game stores in the United States and even more around the world. That's really the thing that always bothers me on these situations. It's not that they're trying to get excess inventory off the books. Hey, they overprinted. Things were crazy in 2021. I get it. It is what it is. 2022, they started to adjust the print runs, but the economy collapsed. Distributors and stores didn't restock. Too much product was happening. They couldn't move it. They're trying to unload it. I get it. But the thing that irks me is that they should allow the 3,000 stores in the United States, not only me, but the rest of you all who have businesses and have employees and overhead, a fair chance at buying these. If they're going through Amazon, and even if they get a special reduced rate, instead of paying, 20, 30%, whatever, fulfilled by Amazon storage, even if they have a reduced rate of half the fees of a normal Amazon seller, and only paying 15 to 12%. I mean, on a $100 box, that means, Hasbro Wizards is getting like $80, $90 a box. I mean, if you flowed that through distribution and told the distributor, hey, $80 a box, distributors goes, really? $80 a box? Distributors would eat that up. I assure you, no matter how negative you all are, they would buy all of it. And then distributors would run sales to stores for $89, $99, $109. And, that would give an opportunity to spread this product. And now, in a situation like this, it reinforces that no matter what Wizards and Hasbro states about this community, all this inclusivity, the politics, anything that's being hip and the cultural stuff, at the end of the day, moments like this reinforce how much they just don't give two shits about any of us. And I hope most of you watching understand that. And I think most of you all out there, through Magic 30, I think we're all on the same page. I don't think anyone right now is arguing about the Wizards Hasbro attitude and how they view all of us. I think we're all on the same page on that. But it's just disappointing. It's like an old guy, you're sitting down talking to your kid. I'm not angry or dramatic or wound up about it, but man, is it fucking disappointing. What a disappointment in life, What a sad future for Magic the Gathering and Hasbro. And it's just kind of fucking funny when at the same time, Flesh and Blood hits all-time record attendance pre-releases around the world for Dusk Till Dawn. Sorcery's coming to market and has the largest amount of hype I've seen since probably MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood from a couple years ago. And you're seeing these other shifts in the tectonic plates of the world of where money flows. And when I made that one Sorcery alpha box opening video. I don't think I've ever seen such positivity and excited comments on a Rudy video in years. Like, when I started doing these other games, like when I started with Flesh and Blood, it was met with skepticism, everything's a scam, death threats, hates, all this fake stuff. Rudy's trying to rob you and steal your ex and your wife. Well, your ex-wife was cute. And then MetaZoo, same thing. Oh, it's all fake, it's rob. People were always negative and attacking. This time, not any different than MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood, as I talked to you guys about 6 months ago, now we have Sorcery, and this time around, everybody is flipping losing their mind over it. And I believe, in my personal opinion, now that we've been through the boom and bust of 2022, the market's more stable now. All the flippers and short-term people are gone. And a lot of the people who refuse to buy Magic, the amount of patrons I have that still watch my videos, ask me financial questions, say, hey, Rudy, you're worth a couple bucks. Thank you. And, your wife's boyfriend says the same thing. But the amount of these patrons that just say, I will never buy Magic again, or I will still buy a collector box from you at Release Rudy, or I'll buy your cheap 89 draft, and that's it. Besides that, the lingering negativity towards Hasbro Wizards is still off the chart. And, I don't care what anyone says. If Magic and Wizards was handled differently, I don't care what anyone says. The success of, like, Flesh and Blood... I mean, MetaZoo doesn't compete with... And Pokemon doesn't really compete with Magic. Weiss doesn't compete with Magic. Final Fantasy, One Piece, Lorcana. These aren't really Magic killers. These aren't Magic competitors. But, like, Flesh and Blood and this new sorcery, in my opinion, is in the closest wheelhouse. Not the same, but it's the closest to Magic you're going to get. And I firmly believe if Hasbro and Wizards was ran better, I genuinely don't think Flesh and Blood would have the extreme success that it's had. I still think it'd be successful, but I think it's been amplified by Wizards just burning the bridge and just saying, we can do no wrong. They're addicted to us. And it's like, I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of shifts in the system. And now, with this sorcery stuff, the amount of, like, even Rudy patrons and you all, I am getting blown up with Magic patrons and things. And I have the data and I see, what they bought over the years. Long-term patrons, 3, 4, 5, 6-year patrons who still buy cheap draft boxes from me and, the occasional new launch and different Magic collector because they just like it. They want to buy it open with their friends and family. But the amount of excitement towards Flesh and Blood and sorcery now, I don't think a lot of these individual consumers would feel this way if they didn't feel so, I don't want to use the word betrayed or middle fingered or like fuck off kind of. People are genuinely just feel used and abused from Hasbro Wizards. Is that, I know it's kind of a little cliche and cheesy, I know. But that's where it is. So when I see what's happening today, and I missed a lot in the morning as always, patrons are like, Rudy, why didn't you tell me? I was like, bro, I wasn't awake at 7, 8 in the morning when all this was going on. And, when I see this stuff, like I said, the best way for me to sum this up is it's disappointing. Because moments like this are now going to reset in the Magic world. The fear, the negativity, and all 3,000 stores around the country are going to be more nervous, including me, to restock or even order anything from distribution of any of these older sets. Now again, 2023 forward has been better. Again, the draft sets so far have been better, but it's very fascinating. And, it took many, many months for the Amazon dump to linger, that kind of foul Rudy taco smell to linger, to return. But, they did it again. And I predicted that wrong. I thought Wizards realized the turbulence that they got from last time. I did not think they would dump again. And I was wrong. And not only did they do it, this time they have more products. All kinds of commander decks and things that I've never carried and sold. Because I've discontinued all the cheaper jump starts and cheaper command. I don't only carry the big ones now. And I'm very surprised that, they're just unloading it. And it's going to continue to cause damage to the brand. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what we are experiencing today. And it's going to take another easy 3, 6, maybe 9 months, which could be towards Black Friday when they do it again. It's going to continue to damage the brand and the consumer confidence and the credibility of Magic and Wizards in their handling of the brand. I guess the only positive thing I can say is, when March of the Machine and Phyrexia and Lord of the Ring, when the product does good, it's not going to get dumped because they truly did flush it out. I guess that's the only positive thing you can say about this, but that's all I have. It's a disappointing day, because that reinforces to me that these items, I see no near-term growth in any of them. And any attempt at even them waiting, because now, we don't know how many more dumps there's going to be. And, it's sad. It's a sad day for Magic. And the day for everybody else, the Flesh and Bloods, the new sorceries, and every other CCG in the world. Congratulations, because once again, Magic and Wizards is handing you market share on a golden platter and saying you have the opportunity to make insane money because we don't give a shit and we're cocky. And that's what I see happening. Moments like this is going to fuel the growth of Flesh and Blood. And what timing for Sorcery. You have the Magic direct competitor, in my opinion. Sorcery. Alpha Kickstarters hitting market, going crazy. People are more excited about that than I've seen since probably the launch of Flesh and Blood. And now we're like 60 days, 90 days away from Sorcery beta launch all over the US, distribution and everything. And Wizards does these things, and all I see is you are going to fuel the fucking growth of Sorcery and your competitors. All you're doing is fueling your competitors. And they are so cocky and so stupid and so unable to see 5 to 10 moves ahead on the chessboard. Hasbro and Wizards, they own one of the most powerful CCGs, most beautiful engineered card games in the history of mankind. And they are so cocky, stupid, uneducated, obsessed with short-term profit. They are handing their player base and market share to competitors. And it truly is a remarkable sight to be a part of this, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks for watching. As always, thank you for the views and support. And remember, folks, this channel is sponsored by all the viewers like you and the patrons. And that's it. Have a beautiful day. I'm not even ending this video with the penis. It doesn't even deserve it. We're just ending the video. No penis.